I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ market site. A drug stock soars on test results.
Equity markets may be in choppy waters this Tuesday, but several biotech names know where they're headed. Find out what the latest studies mean for several small caps. And the Zika virus is spreading like wildfire. Can Big Pharma tackle the threat?
Welcome to Small Cap Nation. I'm Jane King at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. Relypsa shares surged in the extended session after the biotech company said an early-stage study showed its treatment for elevated blood potassium did not interfere with other drugs. Now, the company said its drug, Veltassa, did not interfere with the absorption levels of 12 other drugs, according to the study. Veltassa is approved for the treatment of hyperkalemia, a condition that causes high potassium levels in the blood. Remy Blair will have more details on Relypsa's drug later in the show. Two regional banks are merging. Both are based in Ohio. First Merit Bank, which is headquartered in Akron, has been acquired by Huntington Bank of Columbus in a multi-billion-dollar deal. Layoffs are expected as a result. Huntington released a statement on the deal, which will make them the largest bank in Ohio based on deposits. Crane shares declined on Tuesday after the industrial products maker reported fourth quarter earnings that topped Wall Street estimates, but the company provided an outlook that fell short of the consensus view. Now, the company makes commercial valves and pipes for water treatment plants. Rambos is buying smart card software, which includes Bell identification and eSIMs through the purchase of all outstanding shares of smart card software. As part of this acquisition, the advanced mobile payment platform developed by Bell ID, along with the smart ticketing platform created by eSIMs, will be incorporated into the Rambos cryptograph research division. Well, lots of small cap companies making news today, and here's a look in today's small cap wrap. Perseon shares saw its lockup expire. Rambos reported yearly revenue that topped estimates. Sunedison says Greenlight Capital filed for a nearly 7% stake in the company. VTV Therapeutics saw its lockup on shares expire, and Flagstar Bancorp missed its quarterly earnings estimates. Well, TV station owner Nexstar Broadcasting is preparing within days to sign a roughly $2.3 billion deal to buy Media General. That's according to the New York Post. Now, the deal would make the combined entity the third largest station group owner in the U.S., behind Fox and CBS. The agreement, when announced, is expected to be put on hold because Media General had already pledged to merge with Meredith. That's according to a source that talked to the Post. Still, Media General hopes the deal will put pressure on Meredith to settle the $60 million termination fee it negotiated with the company. And Aratana seeking FDA approval for a drug for dogs. The pet therapy company's drug is called Galliprant. It treats inflammation and pain in dogs who have osteoarthritis. If approved, it offers veterinarians another option to treat dogs with this disease. In the healthcare sector, we have several small cap updates, starting out with Relypsa. The company reported results from its drug interaction study, and shares of the biotech higher on the results. How promising are these results from Veltassa's study, and what are the analysts saying?
Hi, Jane. Realypsa shares are up 5% on Tuesday, topping $20 a share. The biotech reported encouraging results from its phase 1 study of its key candidate. The study evaluated drug-drug interactions between Veltassa for oral suspension and 12 drugs that were demonstrated binding for in vitro tests. Now, the study was administered at the same time or with a 3-hour delay. The FDA approved Veltassa last year to treat hyperkalemia. Now, the drug treats people with elevated blood potassium levels. The DDI study came amid the FDA approval that had a box warning on drug-drug interactions. Now, DDIs occur when a medication interacts or interferes with another drug. There can be unexpected side effects. With today's gain, the market cap for the company stands at $859 million. Despite the move higher, it is well off its 52-week high of $42.26 a share. As for analyst ratings, Wedbush analyst Liana Musadas reiterated an outperform rating and $86 price target. The firm views Realypsa's results as a positive. And Oppenheimer reiterated an outperform rating on Realypsa stock. It assigned a $55 target price. The company says that the latest data was positive and may help lift its black box warning on Veltassa. And last but not least, Cowen maintains its outperform rating on Realypsa.
Well, we all love our pets, and there's nothing quite as trying as dealing with a sick Fido. Aratana Therapeutics filed for its first FDA approval. What does this animal drug aim to treat?
Aratana Therapeutics filed a new animal drug application for Galliprant. The pet therapeutics company hopes to receive its first FDA-approved drug with the agency's Center for Veterinary Medicine. Galliprant is a treatment that helps dogs that suffer from osteoarthritis. It aims to control pain and inflammation in dogs with this pain, and the Animal Drug User Fee Act date for approval is slated for March 25th. Aratana says it anticipates commercial availability of Galliprant in the autumn of this year. Now, after a higher open, today's shares are trading flat. The stock is well off its 52-week high of $20.63. It has a market cap of just over $107 million. In terms of analyst ratings, Jefferies Group reaffirmed its buy rating recently, and Zacks Investment upgraded the stock from a hold to strong buy. It has a $3.50 price target.
And sticking with the latest healthcare updates, Galapagos extending losses on Tuesday. The biotech reported trial results for its bowel disease drug. Now, what's the outlook for the experimental candidate?
Galapagos reported that its experimental bowel disease drug failed in a research trial. The Belgian company's treatment for ulcerative colitis, GLPG-1205, was well tolerated in the phase 2A study, but it did not perform better than the placebo in a medical trial. Now, Galapagos says it will evaluate the drug in alternative indications. Shares of the company dipped 1% on Tuesday.
Guys, I got the jerseys. El Nino. Aquí. Spray Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Don Ovan.
Think that's me?
You guy. It's $40. Can you cover that?
I'll send it to you right now. Done.
Okay, got it. So hat-trick Rick, he's the best player on our team. You get the ball, you give it to him.
Great. Rick.
On your phone, online, on the go, Wells Fargo makes it easy to get banking done.
All right, Don, you're on. Nope, just kidding.
Doug, you've been staring at that for a while, huh? Listen, TD Ameritrade has former floor traders to help walk you through that complex trade, so you'll be confident enough to do what you want. I'll pull up their number. Blammo. Let's get those guys on the horn. Ooh. Looks like it is time to upgrade your phone, Douglas.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Let's go, Serena. Fight, fight. Come on, fight.
Can't stop me now.
Come on, Serena.
Can't stop me now. You don't want me. Can't mess with this.
Back to the top. Here we go.
You don't
2,
want me.
4, 5, 6. Whoa, stop. Let's go back. 1, 2. Whoa, we're going to stop there. I bet we can do it even better.
It took tennis legend Serena Williams, fencing champion Tim Morehouse, and the world-famous Rockettes years to master their craft. But it took them only moments to master paying bills at Chase.com, depositing checks at Chase ATMs, and transferring funds on the mobile app. Technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Graham Brown is in Europe with the latest on small cap action there. Graham?
Gold miners have not been a happy hunting ground for investors over the last 3 years, with concerns over the values in the stock markets globally. UBS is suggesting that the sector's appeal is growing. The Swiss broker believes that if turbulence increases in the main markets, gold's role as a portfolio diversifier, tail risk hedge, has potential to become increasingly relevant. And now, after recent heavy cost-cutting and significant benefits from currency and oil price weakness, the majority of the listed global gold universe can now generate cash at around the current price of somewhere around $1,100 an ounce. So the gold price has suffered a little over the last period, but not as much as the stock market. And UBS went on to say that assuming the gold industry does not revert to pursuing growth over returns, maintains strong cost position, and the gold price holds steady or increases, we believe that the sector is in a strong position to offer expanding margins, increasing cash flow, and genuine leverage to the gold price upside. In addition, obviously, the strengthening dollar works the advantage with the producers with costs in non-dollar related currencies. Remember, here we're talking about real gold. We're not talking about paper gold. So today I thought we'd take a brief look at the range of gold miners present on the London AIM, who are mining in all parts of the world. One share actually was mentioned in the UBS report is Acacia, which is one of the largest gold producers in Africa, having 3 mines in Tanzania currently operating, and with exploration projects in Kenya, Tanzania and Burkina Faso. They've been operating in Tanzania for over a decade, and during that time have produced nearly 8 million ounces of gold from their combination of open pit and semi-underground mines, making them the leading gold producer in Tanzania. And as well as the 3 producing mines, they have several exploration projects in various stages of development, including land holdings in the highly prospective what is known as greenstone, which is sort of gold-bearing belts in western Kenya, western Burkina Faso and western Mali. Mali, of course, is a famous gold-bearing area going back to the Middle Ages. Another company is Anglo-Asian Mining, where fourth quarter production from its Gedabek mine in Azerbaijan produced about 18,000 ounces of gold, 335 tons of copper and 17,000+ ounces of silver, beating expectations. Anglo-Asian Mining has a portfolio of gold, copper and silver exploration and production properties in Azerbaijan. The company's key operations have 3 contract areas covering about 1,000+ square meters, and another 3 additional contract areas about 900 square meters in Armenia. So the company started to produce gold in May 2009 in its main Gedabek gold and copper mine, located in the western Azerbaijan. The mine is an open pit operation. In addition, in late 2014, it started to develop a limited underground mine on the same property, and the company has another mining project 300 square meters in Gosha, and that is currently being developed as a small high-grade underground coal mine. All produced at both locations, either gold or copper and other precious metals, is recovered using a number of processes: heap leaching, agitation leaching, sulfidization and acidization, and what they call recycling and thickening. The company's small-scale flotation plant in Gedabek started production in November last year and will predominantly produce copper to take out the ore separate to the gold. The company also has a third property, or Dubad, in early stage gold and copper exploration, located in the Achiva region of Azerbaijan. It's worth noting here, of course, that copper has held up fairly well as a commodity price, so they're sort of spreading their risk by getting gold, copper and silver, which is off at the moment, from their mining. And next, and not last and not least, Highland Gold Mining, a well-established gold producer with a world-class Russian asset base of producing, development and operation. Its vision is to become the most profitable gold mining company in Russia and Central Asia. Highland has a strong management and operation team and an exciting portfolio of audited resources. Its main operations are around 3 main hubs in Khabarovsk, Zabarisky and Chuka in regions of Russia, which I think is in the east, as well as Kyrgyzstan in Central Asia. This company currently has 3 operating mines, 3 development properties and 3 exploration properties. Operations at the M&V mine consist of both underground and open pit mining of several high quality deposits. It also began getting ore out of its Bilaragora mine and processing it at a shared facility with M&V. They have basically built out a standalone processing plant with a capacity of about 1.5 million tons of ore per year. It was the second development of the project the company brought on board. Commercial production at the Bilaragora mill began in spring 2014 and it reached capacity at the end of that year. So, and they're putting into great improved extraction facilities which they believe will improve their recovery rates in excess of 80%. And they have a further mine which is a polymetallic deposit containing commercial quantities of gold, silver, lead and zinc, located in the Zabisky region, and was designed as what's known as a long hole open stopping operation. So the mine is developed in levels about 50 meters apart and vertically. And so far, they've got coming out about 450 kiloton of material a year. So this actually is just only 3 out of the many gold miners that can be found on the London AIM. And they're mining from China through the steppes into Russia, as we saw, Central Europe, down into Africa, Turkey, pretty well everywhere you look, they've got gold mining operations. And they're pretty well all low-cost strip or small hole mining without the expensive deep shafts of the traditional miners. So maybe gold in the small cap may be the way to go. So this is Graham Brown, and that is all for today from Small Cap Nation Europe.
Everyone works hard for a reason. Working together, we can help you prepare financially for when 2 becomes 3. Wells Fargo. Together we'll go far.
You want to be the best investor you can be. You want to cut through the noise of an overwhelming amount of analysis. You want the insights that will help you decide which ideas to execute and which to leave behind. You want your trades executed in 1 second or less, guaranteed and routed with institutional quality technology. Look no further. Open an account and find more of the expertise you need to be a better investor.
When I got the phone call that we had received the grant, I held my breath.
To have a program like this is a big reward.
Being a Chase Mission Main Street grant recipient is a game changer.
One of the biggest surprises in starting a small business is the number of hours we should work for the first 20 years.
One of the great things about this grant is that it is going to let us invest in some additional inventories.
It's going to allow this business to go to the next level.
Being a recipient of this grant, we can't be thankful enough.
It's a dream come true, and I'm still in awe.
Well, every day the headlines about the Zika virus continue to multiply. The disease has been linked to brain damage in thousands of babies in Brazil. Now, the World Health Organization warned that Zika will likely spread to all countries in the Americas with the exception of Chile and Canada. So what is the Zika virus and how is it spread?
Zika virus updates have been plentiful in recent weeks. The mosquito-transmitted infection is related to yellow fever, dengue, and West Nile virus. It was first discovered in the Zika forest of Uganda nearly 7 decades ago. It began to spread in the Western Hemisphere in May of last year, and it has been spreading rapidly as very few people have immune defenses against Zika. The virus is spread by mosquitoes that are part of the Aedes species. It is spread by mosquitoes, but there have been reports of possible transmission through blood transfusions. The possibility that Zika causes microcephaly has caused alarm as well. Now, scientists are trying to understand why Zika causes brain damage in small heads in infants.
Without a treatment on the horizon, are any experimental drugs being evaluated?
There is no vaccine or treatment, and it is very hard to diagnose. Symptoms include mild fevers or rashes. Still, 80% of people infected show no symptoms. GlaxoSmithKline is working on feasibility studies to evaluate whether its vaccine technology is suitable for the Zika virus. Sources say Merck is not currently engaged in research to prevent or treat the virus. Separately, France's Sanofi says it is renewing the possibility of applying its technology for Zika. It won approval late last year for the first dengue vaccine. Meanwhile, Japan's Takeda Pharmaceutical says it is focused on addressing dengue, and its experimental vaccine is not designed to cover Zika virus.
How are governments trying to contain the virus outbreak in the hard-hit regions of Latin America? And what is the CDC saying about the potential for Zika in the United States?
It's no easy feat to create and test a vaccine. It takes plenty of time and money. The CDC advises pregnant women to avoid traveling to regions where Zika is being transmitted. It's nearly impossible to prevent mosquito bites, but it is advising travelers to minimize exposure to mosquitoes. The CDC also advises women thinking of becoming pregnant to consult doctors before traveling to Zika regions. Last week, the CDC issued interim guidelines for pregnant women who visited countries with Zika. It says pregnant women who have been to affected regions should have an ultrasound scan eventually to see if their fetuses are developing microcephaly. This is controversial as an ultrasound cannot detect microcephaly before the end of the second trimester. The virus has yet to be reported in the continental U.S. A woman gave birth to a brain-damaged baby in Hawaii after falling ill with Zika in Brazil. The World Health Organization says Zika will spread to the U.S. Meanwhile, some of the regions hard hit by the outbreak are bracing for the economic hit. With the Zika virus in 20 Latin American countries and the Caribbean, tourism could be affected. With Carnival as well as the Olympics a big draw, Brazil is also stepping up its fight against the virus.
Guys, I got the jerseys. El Nino. Aquí. Spray Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Don Ovan.
Think that's me?
You guy. It's $40. Can you cover that?
I'll send it to you right now. Done.
Okay, got it. So Hat-Trick Rick, he's the best player on our team. You get the ball, you give it to him.
Great. Rick.
On your phone, online, on the go, Wells Fargo makes it easy to get banking done.
All right, Don, you're on. Nope, just kidding.
Doug, you've been staring at that for a while, huh? Listen, TD Ameritrade has former floor traders to help walk you through that complex trade, so you'll be confident enough to do what you want. I'll pull up their number. Blammo. Let's get those guys on the horn. Ooh. Looks like it is time to upgrade your phone, Douglas.
For all the confidence you need, TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Let's go, Serena. Fight, fight. Come on, fight.
Can't stop me now.
Come on, Serena.
Can't stop me now. You don't want me. Can't mess with this.
Back to the top. Here we go.
You don't want me.
4, 5, 6. Whoa, stop. Let's go back. 1, 2. Whoa, we're gonna stop there. I bet we can do it even better.
It took tennis legend Serena Williams, fencing champion Tim Morehouse, and the world-famous Rockettes years to master their craft. But it took them only moments to master paying bills at Chase.com, depositing checks at Chase ATMs, and transferring funds on the mobile app. technology designed for you, so you can easily master the way you bank.
Lots of activity in today's buy-sell hold action. Core Labs was cut to reduce at HSBC. Golden Ocean Group cut to underweight at JP Morgan. Heartland Financial was raised to a strong buy at Raymond James. Meet Me rated a new buy at Topeka Capital. Navios Maritime Holdings cut to neutral at JP Morgan. Pennsylvania REIT cut to underweight at Barclays. Scorpio Bulkers raised to overweight at JP Morgan. Star Bulk Carriers cut to neutral at JP Morgan. And Stratasys was cut to neutral at JP Morgan as well. Thanks for joining us on Small Cap Nation, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, check back for the latest news and research on smallcapnation.com, Facebook, and Twitter.